was raised in a upper middle class suburban household, and I walked away from it all to experience real life. I didn't really listen to my stepdad growing up. There were a lot of emotional challenges that I experienced when I was younger where I didn't realize how important tunnel vision was. And I also didn't have the emotional balance to back it up because as a young girl who didn't have her biological father around, I experienced a lot of imbalance when it came to the masculine aspects of being a human being. And so I got older and I made a lot of mistakes. Nothing I regret because I don't think there is anything to regret in life, only lessons to be learned. And now as a 31-year-old woman who is an entrepreneur and building my business constantly every single day, I see how important it is to define your values at the very beginning, as well as figuring out if something is worth it in the moment and being a better decision maker in the process. We let so many things without emotional balance dilute the experience of the things that we say that we want, that we think that anything can just easily come to us without having to actually put in the massive action. I think when the law of attraction became very popular, it inspired this idea of confidence and creating our own reality, but it left out the key component of actually taking the action and putting into effect the things that you say that you want. And I learned this the hard way. I've been business building since I was about 23 or 24, but all the lessons that my stepdad tried to prepare me for by putting me in bridge programs, community outreach, all of these things are just now coming back into fruition as an adult. And now that we are in the age of the internet, which I think no one could have really predicted back in the early 2000s, where there is an AI takeover and now it's easy enough to have all the work done for you and not really have to put in the brain effort to accomplish anything, is making society a little bit dumber. If I had to be completely honest, and because of that, we are losing our drive, we're losing our motivation, we're thinking things should just easily come to us without having to clearly define the things that we say that we want. And then we wonder in the long run why we end up with the results that we have. I'm speaking as someone who had to learn these lessons the hard way each and every time. And so when I think back to all those times where my dad would tell me, you're not disciplined, you don't have any structure, you don't have any of this, and I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out later. I'm now living through that and then having to revamp myself so that I can teach that to my children. And I just want people to realize that without structure and a guided plan, and even being prepared for that plan to fail, you have to know what it is you want and relentlessly pursue that every single day. Also, have the emotional balance in order to make that happen, because without it, I mean, you're pretty much just leaving yourself in the dark. Anything is up for interpretation. He always used to tell me to prepare myself with a 5-year and 10-year plan. And I was like, yeah, that's boring. I'm not going to do that. Anything could happen. I would just say I want to do anything. And now having 2 children looking at me, having a family, I say, okay, I have to be very clear about what it is that I say that I want. I can't just dream things into reality without clearly defining what that is for me and how I can get it. And so I thank my parents for everything that they gave me, and they took me as far as they could. But now I have to take it the extra step as a parent and as a woman entrepreneur and as a human being to show people you need both the emotional balance and the structure. You need the physical and the spiritual. You need the oracle and the architect in order to come together to create your dreams into a reality. With the convenience of technology these days and everything just at our fingertips. Remember those days when they told us stop using a calculator because you won't use your mind? That's pretty much how everything has gone thus far. And I think that it's time that we get back to the essentials, learning to take care of our bodies, reading, spending time with people in person, learning how to carry on conversations, because now that we're putting all these things in the hands of technology, it requires us to not really be human anymore. We're putting everything else in someone else's or something else's hands and saying, here, you're the creator now. You're the master now. You figure it out. And it's essentially leaving us at a loss. We're no longer able to build legacies. We're too busy complaining about the things that haven't been given to us rather than seeing that we have 2 hands to create anything that we want into this reality. So I want you to remember that your parents most likely did the best that they could with what they had. And now it's up to us to take that an extra step further, believing in ourselves, creating structure for ourselves, learning what it truly means to build brick by brick, layer by layer into your dream. Nothing is built overnight. This is something that is built over the course of a lifetime. And the quicker we come to that understanding, I think the better off we will be as a society, and especially for melanated people looking to elevate themselves to the next level who did not get those opportunities. I was literally handed those and walked away from them because I wanted to experience life outside of the plan somebody else had for me. And now that I see what I could have had and what I have now, I choose not to look at everything as a regret, but an opportunity to learn. I learned what it was like to step away from having everything, saying, here's this perfect package for you to be a successful adult, an entrepreneur in life, or not even an entrepreneur, but just a business person. And then choose to go my own way, suffer, struggle, choose partners that weren't good for me, make decisions, and have all these things happen that would ultimately either push me to my next level or set me back. And I'm grateful for every single thing, but I also want people to always remember that you create this, you construct this. Take every challenge that has happened into your life and turn it into a lesson or opportunity, and you'll make the world a better place.